Welcome everybody to episode number 31 of Third Son Gaming Podcast. I am your host Tyler, joined as always by our co-host, -1 this week. But
Yay!
Mike is with us. Mike, how you doing?
I'm not too shabby, dude. How about you?
I'm pretty good. It's been a decent week. Also joining us is Eugene. How are you today?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh, pretty good. Graham is out sailing the seas on a cruise this week, so he's not with us, although I'm sure he's ordered about 15 Nintendo Switches by now. We'll get into that in just a second, but first, if you want to join the conversation, feel free to join our Facebook group. Go on to Facebook, look up the Third Son Gaming Podcast forums, and join in there. We get plenty of good conversation every week, and we've actually met some people that we played some different games with, so that's pretty cool. Feel free to join there. You can follow us on Twitter at Third Son Gaming, all one word, THIRDSUN Gaming. And remember, tell your friends. If you like the show, we know there's quite a bit of you out there that do, and we get lots of good feedback. So tell your friends. Let's grow our audience, grow our listener base, and make this a great community. And make sure they hit that subscribe button in the iTunes store or whatever app they use to listen to podcasts, so you never miss an episode. All right, let's get into news this week. Nintendo had a very awkward conference on Thursday evening.
I'm still excited.
Yeah, but got the news out that we've all been waiting for, that the Nintendo Switch is in fact coming in March. The release date is March 3rd, and it's going to be $299.99 in the United States and Canada, maybe a little more in Canada.
I think it's like $3.99 in Canada.
It won't be.
It translates into that or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that bad. It's probably about $3.50, $3.40, $3.50, but yeah. So I don't know. Zelda's a launch title for this. We don't get Mario until the fall. You know, they showed off games like 1-2 Switch and ARMS and Splatoon 2, and I'm excited for Zelda. I've never been a huge Zelda guy, but I'm excited to give this one a go. Really excited for Mario. I'm sad that's not coming out till the fall. Did any of the other titles for launch, Eugene, excite you at all?
I didn't know that Bomberman was going to be a launch title, but I'm pretty excited about Bomberman. I saw the screens of Bomberman. It looks like it's going to be a multiplayer game, which I'm excited about. But it's classic 2D Bomberman. It's from a top-down perspective, so that looks pretty good. So as long as it's not like a $60 game, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, it'll probably be on the shop. Hopefully, maybe like a $15-$20 game. But since the Switch is only going to be 32 gigabytes at launch, you can't store a lot in there. That's pathetic. Let's talk about that for a minute. 32 gigs, a console in 2017.
Yep.
When is 32 gigs
plus isn't Zelda like 15?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. So forget about digital sales on any games. I mean, no one's going to want to buy a game. Every time you buy a game, you're going to have to delete any game that you have. You have one game on your console.
Did they mention anything about an SD card, micro SD card?
Yeah, so there will be, I believe it is the SD XC, whichever it is. So, those are pretty, you can get those, 64, 128 gig pretty
for
easily.
A nickel. Yeah.
I don't know about that cheap, but still, you can get that. But, I mean, still, how's that acceptable at launch for internal memory when...
Hey, dude, you know what? I mean, the Apple phones come out with 16 gigs, and you don't get to upgrade those. So
that's true, but this is a gaming console, and the standard's been set at 500 gigs for the other two.
I mean, but we established this. This came out of Mr. Man's mouth over there that they don't need that big of a hard drive for it. However, I think 128 gigabytes would not have killed them.
No.
Especially at the price point of $299.
Well, how about 250? Let's settle for 250 to where at least these HD titles that are coming out, which I believe they've said that most games that are going to be out are going to be at 900p, which isn't even full HD.
Nope.
So a game like that, 20, 30 gigs tops, for a big game.
Mm-hmm.
In the future, that's good. That's going to take up your entire hard drive.
So now this is going to be like the PS4 and Xbox One, where you have to download these discs to your hard drive, don't you?
I'm not sure about that.
That was my question.
Because if you want to take the thing with you, I mean, does the disc go actually into the tablet piece of it?
Well, yeah, it's a little cartridge.
Okay,
It's not a disc. It's cartridge. Yeah,
okay.
it's cartridge based. So it's a little cartridge. I believe it's a little bit larger than the DS cartridges, from what I
Gotcha.
understand.
Okay.
So yeah, it's cartridge based. So yeah, the cartridge goes directly into the actual Switch itself, which the console is actually the tablet. The
Right.
dock
Right.
is
Right.
just a
Yep.
docking station that connects it
Right.
to the TV,
Yep.
which is like if you want to buy one on its own, it's like $80. It's ridiculous. So the next thing
Jesus.
I want to talk about it are the peripherals that are coming out. So they announced all these peripherals, which I really think they really hit upon the point, that back in the day when they started out making the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, you got two controllers with it. When
Yep.
you bought the base system, I mean, you
Yep.
could take the two controllers. It came with a Mario pack in. You could play two players whenever you wanted, and you didn't have to worry about it. And now, they really push on that the Joy-Con controllers, that they're a controller in itself. Each of those pieces, one
Yep.
of the two pieces, is a controller on its own. And I think that's pretty neat. They're very small, but when you add that wrist strap piece onto it, it actually makes it a little bit bigger. So those of us with bigger hands won't have any issues. But if you wanted to buy another set, which they said a lot of the games that they have are going to support eight players up to one Switch. So if you wanted to buy another set so you can have 4 players, I believe a set of those starts off at $50.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
$50 just for the Joy-Con. So if you wanted another separate controller, the little base that comes with it is $30. So you're spending $80 on a new controller to either support
Oh my
up to
God.
4 Joy-Cons or just 2 people with each a set of
Yeah.
Joy-Cons with that.
So I'm gonna go the other route now because I said, hey, the hard drive space is the standard, set by the other two systems. So is the one controller in at launch. I mean, and they're just going along with what everybody else is doing, and these,
Pretty much.
they're going to make money off their accessories, and that's where they're going to drive sales. Um, the dock is included in the system, correct?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was going to
The
say because you
system
said
actually comes with a lot.
because you were saying if you're going to buy it separately, and that was actually giving me pause because I hadn't seen that
Well, so
wasn't.
if you wanted to buy it separately, so let's say you have one Switch, but let's say you wanted to have a dock in your living room and in your
Okay.
bedroom, so
Yep.
you could just carry the Switch, put it in your bedroom, you have it in your TV.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
Sure.
that's the
Okay.
purpose of that.
Okay.
That makes sense. But
Yeah.
oh, seriously, $80? I mean, how hard could it be to get the hardware inside of that thing to hook it up to the TV? It's not that hard. It's just an adapter.
I just think this is where they're going to try to make their money is off of these pieces. So
Well,
it's pretty.
is this gonna cause a minor backlash at them too?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Um,
there's already been a backlash about the accessories.
mhm.
A lot of people are excited about which I still pre-ordered mine today. I think Tyler, you got yours today.
Yep.
We both got them pre-ordered. Mike, you got your 3 pre-ordered, right?
Yeah, yeah, man,
Okay.
I was on top of it.
Yeah, so we all got them pre-ordered. So we're it's not that we're not excited about it, but just the way they've discussed the games, they have a little bit of third-party support. I mean, they had the somebody from EA talking about FIFA, but they're treating FIFA the same way that they're treating. They treated FIFA on the Wii U. If you guys
Yeah.
remember, there
Mhm.
wasn't a FIFA 16 or FIFA 15. It was just FIFA.
FIFA. Yep.
So that makes me think that there's not going to
Oh
be a
boy.
yearly release for FIFA.
Yep.
So they're getting support at launch, but not necessarily support in the future.
Yeah.
Because really, the way I see it, EA is going to see how well this FIFA game sells, and if it sells well, then yeah, they'll make a yearly install for the Switch. But
But
other than that, it doesn't
I
sound good
I
to
think
me.
that's exactly what's happening.
at the same time, that would kind of turn me off if I was gonna buy a FIFA game, because I would want FIFA 17, not FIFA that's made for the Switch, so to speak. I
Right.
think honestly that they should go back to their roots somewhat, even if they go way off the reservation with titles like Metroid and changing them up and stuff like that, Ghosts and Goblins, stuff like that. Bring those kind of titles back. Another Donkey Kong, whatever, however you want to put it. All those games. Just focus on them and just get them out there because those are the kind of games that Nintendo players want.
Right. So
Yeah,
we
I
have
agree.
Bomberman, and they
Yeah,
brought back Bomberman. So
which is good.
they had 3 core Nintendo titles that they announced, and it was Breath of the Wild, which we'll see it. That was their final announcement for the night, that it will be
Hmm.
on March 3rd.
Hmm.
That it'll be at launch, and then they talked about Mario, which Mario I was blown away when I saw Mario. I
Yeah, it
was
looks
very
really
excited.
cool.
Oh, it looks fantastic, but guess when it comes out? It comes out later in the year. It comes out holiday 2017. So that makes me think
Oh.
November, December. I'm not going
You
to get
know
to see
what?
this Mario game until later in the year.
You know what? If that game doesn't come out till November, I'm probably not even going to buy it till 2018 because you know what I'm going to be excited about in November?
Call of Duty.
Scorpio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got a
Oh yeah,
point.
for sure.
See, that's what
And,
I'm saving my ducats for is the Scorpio.
yeah. And I'm excited for this console. I don't want it to sound like we're bashing on it because there's a lot of cool things about the Nintendo Switch. But there are some things that I saw last night that I'm not impressed with. And one of
Very
them,
awkward.
Eugene, and it's not even like the presentation. Like I expect that because it's Japanese and they do their. But every time they did like try to be funny and they did that little snap their fingers, let's switch to this
Let's
person.
switch to this. Let's switch
Oh
on to
my
this.
god!
Take a
And
look at this and switch.
anyway, it's just terrible. But anyway, one thing I'm really not impressed with are some of the launch titles. So 1-2 Switch looks just 15 years ago. Like this game would be bad 15 years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so when the two guys came out and they're starting to duel. You know,
Yeah,
they got the old Western standoff, and it looks like they're about to pull out pistols, and then they pull out the little Joy Cons,
yeah.
and you know the fat guy falls down, you know, and is like, woo, yeah, no, no, that is awful. I really just with what they showed, I'm like, oh, this is going to be the new, you know, Wii Sports pack-in that
Yeah.
they have for the Switch, and this is going to be free, you know, so you can kind of get a taste of all the features of the Switch.
Hmm.
But no, it's a full-on release, a game that you have to buy at launch. It's like those shitty Kinect games that they had
Yeah.
for the Xbox, if you guys remember,
Yeah.
where they're horrible, and that's exactly what this is. I was appalled.
And another key difference between that and Wii Sports is that Wii Sports was fun. Um,
Absolutely,
and this just doesn't look
Yeah, Wii
fun.
was fun.
it
Like
was fun.
this is this just looks dumb. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be like overly negative, but it looks stupid. And just because you make like the human players wear different hats every time you change what they're doing doesn't make it exciting.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
they literally went through like the reel of them doing different things, and every they when they were doing the shootout they had the cowboy hat on, and then they were doing some like milk the cow or something, and they had the farmer hat on,
oh my
and
god.
yeah, and it's just dumb. But and then what? I gotta ask you this because Eugene, I know you watched it too. What was the thing where they were talking about the ice cubes in the glass
So they're
with
they're
the
talking
water?
about they're talking about a new feature. So with these Joy Cons, they have a new patented feature called HD Rumble. So I'm guessing high definition rumble to where you can feel every action through the controller. So if you're holding the Joy-Con like a glass and it had ice cubes in it, you could tell if there's two ice cubes, three ice cubes, and then you could also tell if there's water. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Who cares? Who
Who
cares
cares?
if you're milking a cow and I can feel the
I don't
milk
want.
go through its nipple
There's
and
things I don't want to
nobody
feel.
cares. Yeah.
Who
I mean,
cares?
who cares? And HD,
I
feedback or rumble. I mean, it sounds like haptic feedback to me, kind of like in
Yeah.
the Xbox controller, And once again, we're not here to shit on the console. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm
this is just
still
how it
excited
is.
about the console, but
This is just how it is.
what are they focusing on? What kind of
I don't
audience are
know.
they trying to appeal to
That
with
was my
this?
question. Like,
Yeah,
who is their target?
who's their target for wanting to feel milk get spurted out of a cow or fill ice cubes in a glass?
Yeah, I don't know. But here, one more
Graham.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
Graham. It is Graham,
We are
actually.
really, really lucky Graham is not on
Oh
this
my God, he
one
would be.
because he would be rebuttaling
Oh, he would.
everything.
He would be
Yeah.
such a Nintendo bobo right now, and he'd be defending. He'd be
So
saying
butthurt.
he's been waiting his whole fucking life
So butthurt.
to feel me ice cubes are in the glass, and no, but
And we're ruining it for him.
I know we are. He's gonna listen to this, and oh my God,
start crying,
he is. He's gonna
quit the
sob.
show.
He's gonna go dry his tears with his 15 receipts for pre-orders, and but anyway,
Anyway, like
no,
I'm still excited about the Switch, but
I'm too.
they should have announced like 6 core Nintendo titles. We should have had that Donkey Kong. We should have had
Yes.
Mario. Mario should have been a launch game or launch
Metroid.
release window.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
At least in the window where a 3-month window where hey, you're not going to get it in March, but hey, in July or hey, in August, you're going to have the new Mario game. I have to wait till almost an entire year to get the new
Yep.
Mario title, which
Yeah.
it looks amazing. When I first
It
saw
really
it, I had
does.
no idea what was going on because you're in like New York City, and Mario jumps out of the sewer, and there's actual real people. We've
Mhm.
never had that in a Mario game before. I mean,
Yep.
that's never been tested before, and
No.
and then it starts
hey,
going off into the quirky worlds, that we know Mario for.
Mhm.
It felt like a lot like Super Mario 60 or Mario 64, and it felt like a lot like Super Mario Galaxy. Which those are the best Mario games that we had.
Yep.
Go ahead, Mike.
I had a question for you. When was the last time they came out with a new Mario Party?
A new March? I have no idea.
Mario Party. It's for
Wii?
Wii U.
Yeah,
Wii U had one, didn't it?
Wii U had one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that should have been a staple for the launch of this one too, because
I
that
mean,
would have brought people
that's a
together to
great
play.
point.
Yeah.
That would make me want to buy 4 Joy-Con controllers so I could have 4
Yes.
people playing at once.
And we
But
are
they did.
getting Mario Kart, right?
Yes. So Mario Kart, I believe, comes out in April,
Yeah.
but it's Mario Kart 8.
Yep.
It's Mario Kart 8, and it's called, I forgot what it's called, but it's a Switch version, but it's essentially the same version with a few added characters, and I think there's going to be a Switch aspect to it.
Well, for me that's fine because I never played it. I mean,
Wait a minute. The cart fuel is made of Graham's tears.
it is. Oh, Graham.
And then, so the the title they talked about was Splatoon 2,
Oh,
which
Yeah.
they couldn't have picked the worst person. So Mike,
the
just
guy
picture this
came
in your
out.
head.
The
So,
squid
Mike,
guy. Yeah.
So picture this in your head, Mike. A guy
Yeah.
comes out, a Japanese guy.
Yeah.
He comes out. He comes out with sunglasses, the biggest sunglasses you could come out with, a white lab coat, some crazy clothes underneath, and 2 super soakers, basically.
Mhm.
And he's dancing on stage. Every time he says Splatoon 2, he does this pose on stage, which I think the audience had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what was going on. I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she just burst out laughing. And I'm sitting here like a Nintendo fanboy, just embarrassed for Nintendo.
It was
That this
embarrassing.
has happened. I felt embarrassed for Nintendo that
It
this was
felt
actually going on their
it
stage.
felt like an episode of like Curb Your Enthusiasm where it gets so awkward
Yeah.
that it's funny.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And the guy was serious. The guy was like the
he
head
was.
producer of
Mhm.
this game, and he's like, "I want you to see what's in my soul when you
God.
play
Oh, God.
Splatoon 2." And he goes into this. I wish I had my webcam on right now so you could see me because I'm actually doing the pose that he did. But it was very cringeworthy, and so you just lost your entire Splatoon 2 audience because I was a little bit excited because Splatoon was actually a fun game. It was a fun game. It was a great multiplayer game. They announced that we're reworking our Nintendo network. And they did bring out the cell phone aspect of it. But what I really think they're referring to, Todd, they kind of made it sound like you have to use your phone to add friends almost.
They
Did you
did.
kind of get that?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
They almost
They made it sound like
my God.
they made it sound like to use their online feature to like start a party, you had to use an app on your smart device.
Oh my
That's what
God.
they made it sound like.
If they do that, that's a huge mistake. I really
I agree.
think I think that your phone will be able to link up to your Switch somehow, and it'll be an added feature. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
So like
you
smart
use
glass.
like a second screen almost, or actually it'll be like a third screen. Now, but so
Mhm.
you'll have your second screen that you'll be able to manage your friends, see who's online while you're playing a game. That way, it's not interrupting your game. But hey, why not do what Sony and Xbox, Microsoft does right? Pull up a menu on your screen
Mhm.
where you can see it on your TV, where it doesn't interrupt your game, and that's how I look at my friends. That's the way it should be, and hopefully they're not going to ruin this with this app or whichever. That I'll still be able to do that. I'll still be able to hit that home button and pull up my friends list and see what friends I have, see what party I have going on without pulling out
And-
my phone
I
too.
don't. Yeah. I mean, dude. Seriously, there's enough people out there that live and die with their phones right in front of their nose. You don't need to do it all 24/7 when you're trying to play video games too. Not to go way off course here, but we were talking about games that probably would have been really good for this system. You talked about Splatoon, the multiplayer shoot 'em up and everything like that. Another good animated type shooter that maybe they should have done some kind of partnership with EA would have been Garden Warfare 2.
Oh yeah,
Plants vs
first
Zombie.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, because it's not real violent. I
Absolutely.
mean, there's kid. I mean,
Yep.
it's kid friendly.
Yep.
So
That's a
that would
good
have been a
call.
great title to
But I
put
mean,
on.
Yeah.
the Splatoon 2 video that they showed and the screenshots, it looks fun. It looks like a
Yeah.
fun game.
You
But
know,
then the guy starts talking again and
yes.
starts voting again, and then he lost me completely.
Well,
So
first of all, I mean, breaking news. I'm pretty sure the Game Awards has already announced Splatoon 2 is best shooter of the year. Um, because they did with the first one.
well, what about Arms
And
as best fighting game?
best fighting game, I'm sure. And Nintendo's already won best
Oh,
developer.
oh my God.
And but Mike, to that point, that you just made, like one of my favorite genres to play on Nintendo. I mean, because you have your classic Nintendo games like
Yeah.
Mario and Zelda and Metroid and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I love playing sports games on Nintendo too because they were fun and they were just kind of they weren't as simulation like.
Mhm.
Right.
They were just more fun. And there's a game out there that Mike, both you and I really enjoyed, that is like tailor made for Nintendo. It even feels like a Nintendo game, and that's Super Mega Baseball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. Right. But you know what
Uh,
else was actually really good back on the system way back when was Mario Golf.
yes,
That
Oh,
was
oh,
fun
agreed.
too.
you know for a fact they're gonna make a
Oh,
Mario
I'm
Golf
sure.
game for Switch, but I thought you were gonna say NBA Jam,
Oh,
honestly.
that too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
There you go.
but games like Super Mega Baseball, games like Rocket League would be such a great fit
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would be
for this
so
system.
easy too. Because
Hmm.
Rocket League is not a big game.
No,
So good news for you, Mike. Stardew Valley has been
yes, it
announced for the
is.
Switch
Oh, then not good news for me. Good news for everybody else. By the way, I need one fucking apple. One apple,
to
and I'm
finish
in
your
win. I'm in
community
winter of
center.
year two. Year two. I have everything else freaking done.
How did you
But
fill that up so quick?
oh,
How
it's
did you
not
fill
hard,
that
man.
up? I'm
Uh,
still in year one. I just got into winter, and I haven't played. I actually honestly haven't played any video games the last week. I've been out of town, um, so I haven't played anything. But man, that
unless you
that's a
unless you
lot of
plant the
commitment.
unless you plant that apple tree, it is extremely hard to get an apple.
Hmm.
The only other one I had a problem with getting was a duck feather, and I bought one, and then sure as shit, my duck shit one the next day. I'm like, God damn it! So every Friday and Sunday, the cart dude shows up. If you go down and where Marnie's, where you get all the stuff like the animals and stuff like that. If
Yeah.
you hang a right instead of going left towards her, there's a purple gypsy cart that shows up on Fridays and Sundays. And
Huh.
I've managed to get 2 apples from this person, but not a third.
Hmm.
So this is the bane of my existence. I need one apple to finish the community center, and I'm done.
Yeah, so I'm glad they announced that game because that game would be a perfect mobile game. It'd
Oh
be
yeah.
perfect
Yes.
on your phone to play
Yeah.
that game on your phone. So they announced it for the Switch. So that's kind of a great ass. But still, I'm not going to bring my Switch hardware around. I mean, already
No.
it's gonna be a hard to find system. I mean,
Well, no.
already today, there's only 18 allocated to my GameStop. I don't know how my Walmart was going to get. But I still think it's going to be a hard system to get, and they're already being scalped on eBay right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not. I don't see myself bringing it with me anywhere either, just because I'm sure the protective case will be $150.
oh, I'm sure it will be.
So I
But
don't.
honestly,
But
the NES Classic retro thing has better games on it than this thing does so far.
Well,
so
that brings me to my last thing with my last issue with this, other than just the conference as a whole. Um, they have a free game thing like Games with Gold and like PS Plus games,
Mm-hmm.
where you get a NES and an SNES, excuse me, game every month to play, but it's not yours to keep. You get to play it for free during that month only.
Hmm.
And it comes with online play that they build in, which is awesome. But uh, if nobody else, if Nintendo, or I mean, I'm sorry, Sony and Microsoft weren't doing a free game of the month thing, then this would be cool. But
Yeah.
when you come out, they've already set the precedent for it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying, here, you get these games and they're yours to keep. Um, Now it looks like a ripoff.
Yeah.
how awesome would it be? I saw in another forum somewhere. How awesome would it be if Nintendo had a subscription service where you had access, kind of like Netflix or what's the PlayStation, where you can
PlayStation
stream
Now.
Yeah, so PlayStation Now. So what if Nintendo had a Nintendo Now where I can access the
Oh,
library of all the NES, all the SNES games that they have in their library. I pay $10 a month and I can
yep.
access NES and SNES. For $15 a month, I can access Nintendo 64 GameCube titles, and I can access that for a subscription streaming to my Nintendo Switch.
I'd get it. I'd buy
Yep,
it.
totally.
Yep.
But they won't do it.
Those are the games I want to play anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, but why not do it? Because everybody's got an emulator out there that works fucking perfectly. You can get the ROMs anywhere. You know, you can build yourself a Raspberry Pi emulator box for $45. You know, I mean, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
the top of the line one.
that's my next
And,
investment. Yeah.
so, I mean, you know, why not? You
You're
know,
right. Why not get something out of it, right?
Well, you can
And
even now. I don't know if you guys saw the videos or anything, but the NES Mini, you can actually soft hack it to
yeah,
where
I
you can
saw
add
that.
it. You can add on about 30 games of your choosing
Yeah, I
from the
saw that.
NES, and they play perfectly.
hmm,
So that the NES Mini is basically a Raspberry Pi with
Yep.
with an emulator on it, and you can hook it up to your computer via the mini USB. So that charging port in the back isn't just a charging port; it's a data port, and you can
Yeah.
load up games onto your NES Mini.
hmm.
Uh,
Yep.
without putting any programs on it or nothing. You can just load up the games directly to it. So that's pretty awesome. But anyway, us not end this on a bad note
No.
because I want to say that I'm still excited for the Switch. I'm excited for Breath of the Wild. The new Super Mario Odyssey looks fantastic. Very excited about it. But it's just the Switch isn't what failed. It's the conference that failed. The
Yeah.
conference that they had.
It's
And
kind
I'll.
of it's kind of like the PS4 Pro conference.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Why did you need a conference for
although
this?
the PS4 Pro was pretty lackluster in itself,
Yeah.
but compared to what Scorpio's promising. But what I'm excited for is just the promise of what Switch can do, and what I think they'll do a year down the road with it
hmm
once they fully start to realize what they have and what the community wants from it.
hmm
Hmm.
That's what I'm excited for because
I
there's a
mean,
lot of possibilities here.
my favorite part of the press conference was when the president came out and he was just very direct, very simple. Like, hey, this is what the controller is. You get this controller, you get this dock, and you
Yeah,
get two controllers. And here's what each of those controllers can do. You can
yeah,
play two players. We're going back to basics to
hmm
where it comes packed in with two controllers. So if I buy Mario Kart in April, I already have two controllers where I can play with somebody, and it's
yeah.
no issue. It's no issue whatsoever. That was the best part of the conference to me when they
And,
broke it down and they showed each piece, showed what you get, and showed what the actual
mhm.
peripherals that come with it can do, and how you can customize it too. You can buy different color Joy Cons. You can, get a different base. You can get the Pro controller, their version of Pro controller for $70. So that was the most exciting part of the conference to me, just breaking down the Switch and
Yeah.
showing me what the actual hardware is capable of.
So
Right.
the best part of the conference for me was the end when they stopped.
When they announced Breath of the Wild, and then
No,
later they
no,
talked
when it
about the
went
collector's edition.
no when it went back to the IGN panel because they stopped dancing and whatever they were doing and posing and making stupid jokes. So
Yeah,
if it was like a silent movie and they just showed the shit off, it would have been better than it was.
Yep.
But anyway, I am excited for the console. I think it's going to be good. And Zelda is a release title, and it's got different versions from your basic version all the way up to the Graham version that he'll
Uh,
buy.
I tried to get
So
the grand version.
that's because he already bought them all.
Yeah,
So,
grand. Okay.
but anyway, so that's it for what we have on the Nintendo Switch. Let's move on. We got a couple other news items to get through this week. So Mike cried many tears this week when this announcement came out. Scalebound has been officially canceled by Microsoft. And I know this is a game Mike was really looking forward to. He especially admired the lead developer on the
Yes.
game. Your thoughts?
What a complete fucking douche canoe that guy was. They should have pulled his Twitter faster than they pulled Donald Trump off of his Twitter that one time.
Yeah.
Because that guy was just railing Microsoft, and he was every time the dude would show up on a conference or something on IGN or Twitch or whatever it may
Or
be.
E3, yeah.
Yeah, or E3. God, he just douched it up completely. It was terrible. It was like unavoidable. So with somebody with that big of an ego and that big of an attitude problem and stuff like that, I am not surprised at all that this game got canceled. Besides the fact that I love RPG type games. I love the dragon stuff, and everything
Hmm.
like that. But like this kid from the '90s, and the dragons and woohoo and all that kind of stuff, it did not interest me at all. So
Yeah,
I
I
am
wasn't
not
impressed
heartbroken.
at all when they announced that game, when they showed off that game. Wasn't.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
am
it
not.
just didn't do anything for me. And I think it's one of those things where he tried to Kojima it because he kept trying to delay it because he wanted it to be such a perfect piece of art.
Yeah,
And Microsoft wanted this game out last year, and I think he asked for one too many extensions and one too many checks in the mail. And I think Phil Spencer was finally just like, you know what, you're done.
Yeah, did you see? Yeah, so Phil Spencer's tweet was, I mean, he just put it down straight that this game isn't going to be supported. It's for the best of the fans that this
Yeah.
game's not going to be out anymore.
Hmm.
It's pretty direct.
Yeah, I think it got a little ugly.
Yeah, oh
Because
yeah, for sure.
'cause he
There's something
doesn't
behind the scenes
he
that
doesn't
got
say
ugly.
things like that.
Yeah,
Phil,
yeah.
Phil Spencer takes the high road 99.9% of the time.
It was kind
So,
of hard to take the high road with this jackass, though.
mm,
and it wasn't it. Who developed that game? I thought it was Platinum Games that
It
developed
is
it.
it
Platinum
is
Games.
Yeah,
platinum.
so Platinum Games, and they made a few good games in the past.
They have.
Mainly Bayonetta, right? Bayonetta.
Yep. Man,
Yeah,
Bayonetta
so
was yeah.
yeah. So I mean, but that's probably top tier for them. To me anyway.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
so.
So anyway, rest in peace, Scalebound. We will not miss you. We didn't
No.
really even want you. So, they're moving on to other things that they'd already been moved on to other projects weeks before the announcement was made. So, um, well, I'm sure you'll get to see your buddy again at E3 this year or next year with something
And
new.
I have a funny feeling he will be a little bit more humble if said does
Maybe,
happen.
maybe.
Scalebound for the Switch.
Woo!
Yeah, there you go.
Graham's like, yes.
900 Ps of
900.
Scalebound.
Oh, that one last thing on the Switch. It's 900 or it's 720 on the tablet and up to 1080 on the dock.
Yeah.
So you only get 720 on the tablet. FYI,
Yeah.
in case you were wondering.
Well, I mean that's plenty.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
plenty.
it's such a small screen, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So people
So
that are griping about that,
yeah,
I don't understand
the
it.
HD only matters on a TV like 40 inches or bigger. If you're down in that like 32 or less range, you barely even notice it. Anything under 32, you don't notice it at all.
But how long do you
So-
think it's going to last? I mean, I don't want to go back onto the Switch, but
Yeah.
I mean, PS4 announced last year. Xbox kind of already supporting it. Scorpio is going to support it this year. I mean, it's going to support 4K upscaling,
Mhm.
and the Switch isn't even going to touch that.
Yeah,
Touch it.
that's the concern. If the best you can do is get maybe up to 1080 on the dock,
And it's not. Maybe on
that's-
games like
yeah.
Splatoon, but for
Mhm.
something like Breath of the Wild or anything in that realm, it's not going to touch it. I mean, they've already said Breath of the Wild can only be supported in 900 Ps.
you don't really notice that big of a difference between 1080 and 900. But once gamers get used to playing on 4K resolution and then going back to not even 1080,
Oh yeah,
you're going to notice it.
it's going to be like the Wii again.
Yep.
The Wii being 480 and then jump into the Xbox 360.
Yep.
It's going
You
to
know
be
what's the
that.
biggest difference I ever noticed? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But I
No, you're fine.
Is when I was playing my games on a Commodore 64, and my parents bought me a 386, and I played Might and Magic 2 on there. It's only 16 colors, only EGA, but oh my god, the graphics difference,
Well, for me, it was like jumping
Shit.
from Super Nintendo to N64.
Yeah.
And that's
For-
kind of the way it was to me when going from the PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360.
Yeah,
that was a huge jump as well.
For me, it was the original Xbox to the 360.
Oh yeah.
And seeing
Then you go
games
back and play those games, and these games look like shit.
I know, but I
Yeah.
remember the first time I saw like King Kong in a Best Buy store, running on the 360. I was like, oh my
yeah.
god.
Or BioShock when it came out. That game was gorgeous.
Yeah.
it was.
That looks horrible.
Yeah, it
Doesn't
doesn't look that bad, but it's not. But it doesn't look up to today's standards.
Oh no.
So okay. Anyway, we're done with Switch. All right, Gears of War 4 is getting a big update, including 2 new maps. The 2 new maps are actually old maps for being redone for the new game. Blood Drive and Clock Tower coming back. The update also brings something that I think all competitive shooters should have, and that is quit penalties for those who repeatedly quit multiplayer matches because they suck. So, That's coming soon. Sony has announced the white PlayStation 4 Slim. This does not have a North American release date yet, but it is coming January 24th in Europe for our friends in the UK and February 23rd in Japan. So if you have any interest in I believe they're calling it Glacier White. Sounds like a Gatorade flavor, but whatever.
The Slim, not the
Yeah,
Pro.
the Slim, not
Okay.
the Pro.
No interest.
So that is coming late this month in Europe. So if you want your Glacier White PS4, go get it. And finally, news: Titanfall 2 is getting a DLC soon. They just said coming soon, no official date attached to it. But they're getting a new mode a DLC, a new mode called Live Fire, new maps, and an update to the playlist interface, which I think would be good. Game I still really enjoy, but I haven't played in a couple weeks. I need to get back into it. So that's going to be it for news today, everybody. So with that, let's switch to Eugene.
Did you click your fingers when you did
I
that?
did.
You son of a bitch.
For new releases, what can we get in stores this week?
All right, so we're still in that slow time of the year, guys. It is January, so very slow time. Not too many new releases. I just have maybe 5 or 6 here worth talking about. So first one for the week of January 14th, we have on the 15th Road Redemption, which will come out on the PS4 and Xbox One. It is an upcoming vehicular combat racing video game being developed by Pixel Dash Studios and EQ Games, which I've never heard of either of those guys, or I haven't really heard about this game, but it sounds interesting. It's the spiritual successor for the Road Rash series. So, have you ever played Road Rash back in the day?
Yes.
On the PS1, it sounds pretty fun. So, Mike, you might want to check this out. It sounds like it's going to be on the store this week. Next up, on the 17th, 2064 Read-Only Memories, inspired by classics like Gabriel Knight's Sins of the Father and Snatcher 2064. Read-Only Memories is a retro-futuristic take on the point-and-click adventure game that features a rich, mature narrative and unique gameplay challenges hidden within the beautiful, interactive pixel scenes. So I actually watched a little bit of these games and looked at screenshots. It looks pretty good, and I like the old point-and-click adventure games, especially Monkey Island, things like that.
Yeah,
kind of
King's
reminds
Quest.
me of the yeah. It kind of reminds me of exactly King's Quest. It has a little bit more cartoony feel, but the dialogue is definitely mature. So this game does seem pretty interesting. It seems like it's only going to be on the PS4. So 2064 read-only memories. On the 17th as well, Fate Extella, the Umbral Star, which is for the PS4 and Vita. Fate Extella, the Umbral Star, is an action game that transpires on the world of Extella through the cast of servants that you control. Ancient warriors of legend who survived the Holy Grail War that took place on the moon. This is in the same universe as Fate Extra, so if you ever played Fate Extra, I believe those were on the PS2 and PS3 as well. This is kind of a sequel to that series. And on 117 as well, again, The Flame and the Flood. So this game, see, this might be right up your alley, Mike. This is a adventure game. It is a traveling survivor game. The only companion the player has is a dog called Aesop, who can sense danger and fetch supplies. The player must pay attention to Scout's needs. The Scout is the main character. Scout's needs, such as her energy, thirst, hunger, and warmth, and not paying attention to them can result in death. And this is a permadeath game, so if you do not survive by finding resources and everything, you will die for good.
There's actually a fair amount of hype around that game too.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, and
Yep.
I believe this game is from the same art director. Correct me if I'm wrong. From BioShock, I believe.
I think you might be right. I think you are right.
Yeah, so the art direction is very nice. It's kind of in a top down, top down 2D 3D viewpoint, and the graphics look fantastic. But just the permadeath standpoint, that if you die from starvation, from thirst, or losing all of your energy, you die for good. So a great survival game. Sounds pretty
Challenge
good.
accepted.
Yeah. So sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
it is for the PS4, I believe. Mike, you'll have to hook up brush the dust off the old PS4 and to pop this in.
I was gonna say until you die, and then the fucking mushroom cloud emerges from your room. So yeah, it's fun until then.
Little blowback in the living room. Here it goes flying back.
Oh god.
Yeah. So
Moving
anyway.
On January 20th, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle, which is for the PS4,
Sounds like
Xbox One and PC. Now, hold on. Whenever I saw this title, I'm like, what's going on? This sounds awful. But after looking at the trailer and after looking at a few screenshots, this game looks fantastic. So, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle is an upcoming 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up arcade game. The game was announced at 2016 New York Comic Con with a teaser trailer for the game, later uploaded to the internet after the Power Rangers panel ended. So this was announced at Comic Con after the actual movie was
Mhm.
announced, but it has the original characters from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And it reminds me a lot of Scott Pilgrim. So if you guys ever played Scott Pilgrim,
gotcha.
this is almost exactly like that. You can have up to 4 players on screen.
Hmm.
Enemies come out at you. You go to a different. It's side scrolling, kind of like Double Dragon or
I was
Battletoads.
just gonna say that.
And it actually has sequences that I saw one where they're kind of surfing their
Yeah.
own boards and things like that, and reminded me of that dreaded Battletoads level.
Hmm.
But this game it actually looks pretty fun. I might actually pick this up just to pick up and play. But and then there's also whenever you get to a boss battle, you go into this almost 2D fighting sequence, kind of like Street Fighter, except you're in Megazords. So
Yeah.
this game looks pretty interesting, so that's going to come out on January 20th. Also on January 20th, we have Gravity Rush 2 for the PS4. This is a sequel to the hit Gravity Rush for the Vita. The gravity controlling mechanics introduced in Gravity Rush are expanded in Gravity Rush 2. Players are able to choose among 3 gravity styles, the original style from the first game, and then Lunar and Jupiter. Lunar will be light and increase Cat speed, Cat the main character in the game, her speed and her ability to jump higher, and Jupiter will make Cat feel heavy, giving her attacks more impact. Players can change the gravity style using the touchpad on the controller. So if you like Gravity Rush, then you should like Gravity Rush 2. Also on January 20th, a port of Dragon Quest VIII: Journey of the Cursed King, which I love Dragon Quest games. I love the RPG mechanics of Dragon's Quest. Um, the art is created by Akira Toriyama, who did the Dragon Ball Z series.
Hmm.
So the art's fantastic. But this game was a great game on the PS2. I actually bought this game and I played a little bit of it. I didn't get too far into it, but really I bought it because it came with a demo of Final Fantasy 12, which was an equally, or not equally, but not so great Final Fantasy game.
Right.
But Dragon Quest 8, and this will be on the 3DS, a 3DS port of the classic PS2 game. And finally, also on the 20th, Halo Wars 2, the Blitz open beta. If you signed up for the beta, you will be able to join in on Halo Wars 2 Blitz. And it is slated to run through January 30th. The Blitz beta will take place on the map Proving Grounds and will offer 1 versus 1, 2v2, and 3v3 gameplay via matchmaking on both Windows 10 PC and Xbox One.
Hmm.
One thing that they're excited about that they say on their site is we're particularly excited about is the fact that all of the faction leaders and blitz cards that will be available in the full game at launch on February 21st will be included and available to play and experiment with during beta. So they have some kind of a card system in there where you can collect cards, things like that. So pretty interesting. So that'll be in the beta. If you signed up for that, you'll be able to play on the 20th. And really, that is all for new releases on video games this week's.
All right. Well, that said, let's switch
Let's not.
to mine.
Why didn't you let me do? Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Let's
hey,
switch.
you got to do it. Yeah, you got to do it right. You can't just snap your fingers. You got to hold them way over your head.
And actually, I have to give a horrible transition. Like now, let's look at this, and we're going to switch over to Mike.
Mike, what can we say money on this week?
You two are dildos.
It's how it went. It's what they did. It was so dumb. But anyway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, muscles and mammals. We have for January free with the Xbox One Games with Gold. Right now, you can still get a hold of. I can't believe I just lost it.
Do we need to switch away from you?
No, I got it. World of Van Helsing, Death Trap. Shut up with the snapping.
All right, Van Helsing.
Yeah, Van Helsing, Death Trap. It is still available until the end of the month. Coming up in a couple days, which I'm really excited about, is Killer Instinct Season 2 for free on
Yeah.
the 16th, Ultra Edition. That's definitely going to get into the game with that. I'm probably going to get my ass just destroyed, but, you know, it is what it is. On the 360, the Cave is still available for a couple more days, so if you have not downloaded it yet, make sure that you do. And on the 16th, Rayman Oranges.
Oh my
I
god.
cannot get past
Every
that.
week.
I know. I know. Origins is available from the 16th to the 31st. So that's what's going on with that. So then we've got this week's deals with gold. One of them is actually was a games with gold, so it's Earthlock. It is currently on sale. I don't know what to tell you because it's actually not on the list. Oh, there it is. 33% off. But like I said, it was games with gold, so you guys all probably have it already. So no big deal. Then you got Saints Row 4, and that's on sale for, oh my God, their list is all jacked up this week. It's not actually not on the list. Wow.
Well,
No,
for once,
it's
because
75% off.
the game's always on
75%
sale.
off. And a lot of Rock Band 4 stuff.
Okay.
Blink 182, you know, stuff like that. Rock Band Rivals bundle is 30% off right now, and then they got some, you know, Black Rose, Queen, Pink Floyd stuff. Oh, actually no, Pink pack. You want to jam to some Pink? You got it. It's on there.
All right.
So with that being said, there's just I'm sorry, there's Just Sing is 50% off. So
Yay.
yes. And with that being said, everything else is just sort of meh.
Okay.
So moving along for the games for free for the PlayStation for this month.
You didn't
All
do
right.
it right. You gotta say we gotta switch to the PlayStation.
Now we have to
Yeah,
switch to
between
the
every transition that you do, you got to snap your fingers.
Say switch.
Switch.
There you
Now,
go.
now we got Day of the Tentacle remastered. Definitely have to get that. The Swarm Mine the little ones. And then on PS3 there is Blaze Rush and The Swindle, and that's also cross-platform. Kenza 2 and Titan Souls, both PS Vita and cross-platform on the PS4. And then, man, it is thin for full games on the PlayStation Store this week.
Yeah.
But guess what, boys and girls? I'm only going to give you one this week. What do you think is on sale as usual?
Is it No Man's Sky?
Yay!
Yay.
No
Do you think we'll see No Man's Sky on the Switch?
2 years from now.
Yeah.
No. It is on sale for its usual 34% off. Zenith is on sale for 25% off, and Randall's Monday is on sale for 65% off.
All right.
So that's pretty much it for full games for the PlayStation Store this week. It's really thin.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, I guess. So
So
now we're going to go to the Xbox One deals. We're getting into the good stuff here. All right. Watch Dogs 2, which I shouldn't even mention. For the standard, deluxe, or gold edition via Amazon, it is $30, $40, or $53 today only. Like now, today. FIBA 17 digital download code is $30.59 via CD keys.
it'll be on Access in like 2 months.
Yeah, probably. Xbox One S 1 terabyte Battlefield 1 special edition is $280 at Newegg. There's the 500 Battlefield 1 bundle is $237 at Newegg as well. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is $14.99 via Newegg. The Thrustmaster Ferrari 458 Spider wheel and pedals is $93 via Dell with a promo code GameOn15. So if you like the Forza games and stuff like that, that's actually probably a really good deal for pedals and wheel. You know, I don't think you could go wrong with
No,
that.
and they're really precise. So, yeah.
Rocket League Collector's Edition, $17.99 via Newegg. Deus Ex, whatever.
Deus.
Deus. Mankind Divided Collector's Edition is $38.42 via Amazon. Xbox One S 500 gigabyte Halo Collection Bundle, $243 via Newegg. Newegg's got it this week. Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection, $29.99 via Newegg. Thrustmaster has a TMX Force feedback wheel and pedal set for $143.78 via Dell. Let's see here. Witcher 3 Complete is $19.99 GCU at Best Buy right now. That's an extremely good deal. Go get it. Assassin's Creed Unity is $1.69 via CD keys right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3 Collector's Edition is $57.97 via GameStop. I don't know what comes in the Collector's Edition, but I know right now that you can still get. I think you can still get it at Target for $20, the regular edition. And last but not least, the Western Digital Passport 4 terabyte external USB 3.0 portable hard drive is $109.99 via Newegg.
That's pretty good for 4.
Yeah, that is pretty damn good for 4.
So, I'm sorry. All I can think about in my head is these morons holding their hand way over their head and snapping their fingers. Because it wasn't like they snap their fingers in front of them. You have to like hold your hand way over your head and snap your fingers.
I see.
I wish you had watched it. It was.
I think I'm gonna watch it a month from now and just cringe even harder.
It was cringeworthy.
It reminds me of, oh my god, you remember that Konami E3 event? I think in like 2010.
No.
Where they had the wrestlers on stage and it was awful. Go back and watch that.
So when you
1 million troops.
Okay, I will. When you put it on the Facebook page this week for the episode, you have to get a still shot of one of these douchebags holding their hand over their head.
I'm gonna get the guy, the Splatoon guy, or who is that guy? There's a guy that came out and he went in a Street Fighter pose and went, "Hooah!" and then just started talking. You know what I'm talking about? I forgot what game he. It wasn't Street Fighter that he was introducing. Yeah, he's talking about. I forgot what he's talking about, but he just comes out and goes, "Hooah!" and then starts talking.
You know those old movies that are in like Japanese and they kind of do the voiceover, so you see the guy's mouth moving, and then all of a sudden like a couple words will come out, but they're not even right.
That's
what
it was like that bad.
Did you hear like the translator that was covering the event, like how just the excitement in his voice just trickles down?
Yes.
At the end of the show, he just gets even more depressed by the end of the show.
It was so bad, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So I hope we get a good conversation. Like in Facebook this week, like what were your favorite cringeworthy moments from the conference?
Yeah, I'm gonna post a picture up right now of a picture I already have on my phone on the page.
Yep.
Graham, you tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, I mean Graham.
Graham can tell me. You can tell me what you think of it. He loved it. I'm sure he's laughing and crying. He had all kinds of emotions.
Everybody get all your cringeworthy moments in on Facebook before Graham's back Sunday to defend Nintendo to the end.
Yeah.
Because he will rush to their defense on that website. His fingers will be broken from typing by the end of Sunday. So
that whole conference was like the Notebook for Graham.
There you go, Mike. I just tagged you in a photo on the Facebook page. Tell me what you think.
Hold on, let me see if I got that up right now.
It's like the Notebook.
Sure I do.
For Graham, it's like the Notebook in Titanic.
There we go. I'm gonna go here. Dude. I'm going now.
Actually, looking back, it looks like he's holding 2 Poppets. You know those toys that you pop it, twist it. That's what it looks like he's holding up right now in this picture.
Or maybe they're shake weights. Who knows?
The fuck is this?
I told you, Mike. You got to go back and watch it. It's so bad, but it's like an hour. So just like deal with it for an hour and just watch how cringeworthy this entire thing is. It's just comedically bad.
Lord.
Yeah, so this guy in this picture that you see, he would kneel down and he would point the guns to one side. Splatoon 2!
Yes!
Oh, no. Oh, shit.
The whole thing beginning to end was just terrible.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to get drunk and watch it again tonight.
I know. You have to. And you create a drinking game for every time they snap their goddamn fingers.
Oh, God. I'll fucking be in the hospital.
I know. So anyway,
switching on to
we're gonna switch to what we've been playing. Eugene, you didn't play anything this week because you're gone?
No, I really haven't. I mean, I played. I was on the road and I was only away for 3 days. They only booked me for 3 days this time, so I didn't bother packing anything up. I had my phone and I actually went online and I downloaded a Roller Coaster Tycoon for iPad. I asked for a few recommendations on a forum I'm on for good iPad games I could play while on the road. So somebody recommended Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's a classic version. It's really fun. It's only $6 on the App Store, and I played that a little bit, and I played more Super Mario Run and then Pokemon Go. Other than that, I think this weekend I'm gonna relax and jump into Final Fantasy. I'll probably complete it this weekend,
Cool.
tomorrow, and beat it, and then probably put a few more hours in Stardew Valley. So
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, for the PS4 deals this week, we have Metal Gear Solid
you're-
5: The Definitive Experience
I
for
thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Oh, we switched too early.
You fucking twits over there with your fucking Splatoon bullshit. Watch Dogs 2 for PlayStation 4 is 30 as Amazon's deal of the day. Canada, your loonies, $19.99 for Need for Speed. It was originally $52, just dropped like a rock apparently.
Wow.
40% off games and accessories with a code for from Newegg. 15% off consoles. If you go to Reddit PS4 deals, you can get those codes. Otherwise, I'm going to say them and they're not going to sound right going across. Also on the PS4, we got Wild Hunt. The complete edition for $19.99 at Best Buy as well. Canada, Final Fantasy 15, $49.96 at Amazon.ca. Batman Telltale series, Canada, $19.99, Amazon CA. For the PS4, you have Elder Scrolls Online, $7.99, shipping and handling via Groupon. Here's a good one. Dying Light, the following enhanced edition is $29.99 loonies at Amazon.ca. Battleborn's at GameStop for $10 right now. That's too bad because that game did not get enough support. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which apparently was one of the better Assassin's Creed I have not played, is $9.99 at Best Buy right now. There is also Best Buy has the buy two pre-owned games, get a third free right now as well. So I'm pretty much sure that applies to Xbox as well. The $50 bonus credit when trading in a PS4 Xbox One towards a PS4 Pro still exists at GameStop. Destiny the Collection, $49.99 loonies, Amazon.ca. And last but not least, Skyrim Special Edition, $29, 50% off on Amazon.com. So, back to you, buttheads, or whatever.
You know it's never going to be $9.99 at GameStop?
Your mom.
Scalebound.
Oh, speaking of Skyrim, the Skyrim did not look good on the Switch. They did show that at the conference, and
Yeah.
yeah, and they couldn't even call it the special edition. They just called it Skyrim because it doesn't have the HD upscaling, so it basically looks like the 360 version of Skyrim on the Switch.
This is looking promising already. I can.
Oh yeah.
God. Anyway.
So Tyler, what have you been playing this week?
So let's switch to what we've been playing. I haven't gotten a lot in either. Just first week of a new thing at work, so. But I did get in quite a bit of Battlefield. And then NHL as normal. We've been on the upswing again in NHL, so that's good. And Eugene, you gotta get EA access when NHL goes in the vault.
I really have just been thinking about just picking up NHL 17. I'm gonna see how much it is, and if I can get it for like $40 or I'll jump on and play with you guys. I'd rather play Madden. I'd much rather play Madden, but we really can't play that together. But,
not all of us, but it's fun because if you want to see Mike turn into Mr. Rogers, NHL's way to go.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, dude, if you're gonna play NHL with us and you don't have a lot of experience playing it, you might want to stay off the headset and the mic.
I'll just mute you.
That's a really good idea.
Probably. I don't want to get insulted by anything you say about anything, but I think I might. I will still. You'll send me a message on Xbox or something. I know, but
like you Maury Povich bitch motherfucker, listen to me.
God damn it. Let's switch over from that.
All right. But anyway, that's what I've been playing. So, Mike, how about you? Other than Stardew Valley, what you been up to?
Other than Stardew Valley, I have been
Stardew
D2. I have been playing NHL 17. I have put a lot of hours into Stardew.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you guys, it's kind of funny because when I play Stardew, I only smoke a cigarette like once every 2.5 to 3
That
hours.
game is so addicting, and time flies by so fast.
Yeah, because you have to micromanage your time and
Oh
what you
yeah,
do.
like I'll play that game, and I'll go through like 6 days in the game or 10 days in the game, and like 4 hours have gone by. And it's like midnight.
Yep.
Like that game's ridiculous. Time flies by so quickly in that game.
Is it as fun as Raymond Oranges?
It's more
Just
more
kidding,
fun than
just
Orange.
You
kidding.
know, you are within reaching distance.
I'm sorry. It was like, dude, you got the hat trick this week.
I can't. I don't know why. You know why? It's because it's the color of the text. You know, it starts out with O R and it's orange. So I'm like Raymond Oranges.
Okay,
You know, everybody loves Raymond.
sure.
Um, yeah. So that in NHL 17 played with a couple of. We played with one listener and we played
Yep.
with a couple other people. Got to get that groove going though. It's kind of hard when you add another person to the mix when the person doesn't know exactly what your patterns are and stuff like that.
Well,
So
and what
he's
you
definitely starting to get.
and when we don't know what his are, I mean, we all gotta,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
when you get more people playing, you got to play constantly just to get to know each other. So, we'll get more time to do that. But yeah, it's been good. It's been fun playing with different people. Anything else?
Um, there was something else I played. It really doesn't matter. It was just
Okay.
something to show. Oh, I started playing Witcher 3 again
Okay.
because I keep struggling with why do I keep wasting my time playing Stardew when I've almost got it all the way done, but I have to seem to finish it, and then I'm gonna bust out and knock out Witcher 3 for sure.
Okay.
Sad confession. I haven't even started Witcher 3 yet.
Hey man, you know what?
Bought it on launch. I have both expansions.
I went pretty, I guess like probably like about 30 hours into it. And I've forgotten everything. I've forgotten the controls, stuff like that. So at this point, I'm going to have to go through and just play it from the beginning again.
Yeah, and
Oh my god.
I have one too because I talk about how Bioshock's my favorite game of all time, and I got the collection and I played 20 minutes of it in the hotel in September
Uh huh.
and have not touched it
I
since.
was the same
So
way, and really, I can't
it's
find myself. At least not the first one, or even the second one. I think I might just jump right back into um, Infinite. I might just go.
I
I
definitely
did
want to
finish
play
the
through the
second one,
first one.
Yeah.
and I never finished anything, or I
Yeah,
mean, as far as games go.
Make sure you play
Um,
the DLC for the second one because it's actually pretty great.
is that Minerva's Den?
Yeah, Minerva's Den. It's actually pretty great. And then there's the expansion to Bioshock Infinite where you go back to Rapture.
Yes.
That's actually fantastic. So
Yeah.
make sure you
Well,
play that.
I plan on playing them all,
mhm.
and I think like February, March would be a great time to do that, especially February before Switch comes out, and I get too carried away with 1-2 Switch, um, occupying all my time.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play you guys at Arms. You know
Oh, shut up. Nobody's gonna buy that
that game
game.
is so shitty. God damn it.
Jesus.
Did you hear the part? Okay, going back, I'm just gonna bring up one more thing in the conference. Do you remember when the guy came out and he's like, the whole point of the Switch is not to focus on the screen,
Yes, I
but
heard
you're
that.
focusing on the other player, and you can
Yes.
actually play rock paper scissors with the other player using the Switch. You know how else I can play rock paper scissors while
With
looking
my
at
fucking
somebody?
hands.
I can go play rock paper scissors and look at somebody and play rock paper scissors.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Without
I
So
don't
having to
have
pay
a.
$2.99 for it.
see, what
Fuck
this
that.
is rock paper scissors for fucking idiots because if you don't know which one wins, you can just do it right in front of the person like you normally would, but then look at the screen.
Yeah.
It'll tell you who won.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
So, I don't.
Innovation.
Yeah, yay. I, just give
Uh,
us fucking Mario sometime before fall.
wah, wah,
How about
wah,
that?
wah.
Please.
Anyway, all right. We're gonna,
Switching over
with
to
that, we're gonna switch to discussion,
You guys
and
gotta stop.
well, we're almost done. So, all right, we're gonna play a new game this week, and we're gonna start this, and we
yeah,
do it
the
every
new
week.
game.
Oh, goody.
So we're gonna do trivia, and every week I'm gonna be kind of the scorekeeper, and we're gonna keep it between Graham and Eugene and Mike to see who the grand champion is for 2017. And Graham, unfortunately, so what you get for going on vacation. You have
Yeah,
a
you rich
disadvantage.
bastard.
Yeah, you. Well, Graham's had more days off in the last month than he'll have the entire rest of the year.
Oh yeah.
So that's all right, I guess. But that's my choice. So anyway, we're gonna play. It's It's basically like 20 questions. So we're going to do 25 questions. And I'm going to have a game in mind. And Eugene and Mike will ask questions, and they get one question each. They alternate. And it has to be a yes or no question. And then they can make a guess as to what the game is, but they only get one guess at the game. Once you guess incorrectly, you are out, and it's up to the other person to ask the remainder of the questions and make their guess.
So if you guess, I can guess at any question. If I'm the 10th question in, I can guess. But
Yep.
after that, I can't guess anymore. I've lost. But Mike can go ahead and move on.
He can
to
move on, keep
whatever
asking questions, and then make his guess whenever he wants. All right?
All right. Sounds good.
All right, I have a game in mind. Who would like to go first?
I'll go.
I'd like to go first. You go first, Mike.
All right, Mike, you're up.
Is there a tomato in the game?
No.
Okay.
What a waste of a question. God. Okay, so was this game released after January 1st, 2000?
No. Do people snap their fingers in the game? No. That's not a real question.
No.
Because I'm not playing. Go ahead.
Continue on, Mike.
Mike, your turn.
Does this game have an element of cold in it?
Yes.
Can I solve the puzzle?
Sure.
NHL 1994.
Incorrect.
Oh, bullshit. You lying fuck.
No, seriously.
Well, so I guess it's just me and you,
Yep.
Tyler, going back and forth. So
we've asked 3 questions.
okay, so the first question was there a tomato?
Yep.
Which
Oh, come
is
on. I'm going to keep playing. I was fucking around.
All right, we'll give that for
Okay.
It's not NHL.
So there's an element of cold
Yes.
in this game. Okay. So okay. Was this game released after January 1st, 1990? 1990 this time.
Let me look.
Jesus,
All
don't
right.
you even know this shit and you picked the game?
I don't have the exact release date.
After 1990? If it's before 1990, there's not too many games before 1990. So,
The answer is, what was the question again?
was this game released before January 1st, 1990?
Yes.
So it's possibly an okay.
Yeah, it's 4 questions. Mike, you're up.
Is this on the NES system?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have a weapon in this game?
No.
I'm thinking. Are there undead in the game?
No.
Is this a Black Label NES game?
What do you mean by Black Label?
So the Black Label NES games were part of the original series that came out at the release of the Nintendo. So like that included like Duck Hunt.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Because the originals were 85. Right?
So is that a freebie?
Yeah, we'll make that a freebie. Because
Okay.
I'm 90% sure
That's
it's not.
convoluted. Okay. Let me think.
You keep looking on the internet over there.
Did this game appear on something else other than the NES, such as PC or Atari, things like that?
No, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
This is a tough one because I didn't actually own an NES. We had Atari 2600, 5200, and 7800 with 1.5 million games. So I actually ended up buying my parents a Super Nintendo. So this one is not this is not my forte. Is it top down?
Yes, mostly. It's like at a little bit of an angle, but it's mostly top down.
I don't want to give it away because I think I might have an idea. Is there a point system to this game where it's essential to the scoring in this game? Is there a point system?
Describe what you mean by point system.
Like Duck Hunt would require the more ducks you get, the more points you get, and that dictates whether you win the game.
You
But
do.
Mario does not dictate. Like you have points, but it does not dictate whether
Yes.
you win the game or not.
You win the game by accumulating more points. Yes.
Okay.
Does the game start with an M?
No.
Is this a is this a widely acclaimed game, a critically acclaimed game that was very popular back in the day?
No.
Okay.
So that's 10.
Can you play as more than just one main character, like kind of like in?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this a sports game?
Yes.
Okay. Is it ice hockey for the NES?
No.
Damn it.
All right. You each got a freebie with a guess, and your next guess is the real deal.
Okay. All right.
So we get so that was a freebie for me.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
Can I ask a question then solve it, or
Yes.
do I just have
Yes.
to solve? Okay. Is the player the game is named after have the number 99?
No.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Okay.
Blades of Steel.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Nice. Damn it, I was so close. I didn't even
You're
actually think of Blades of Steel. Blades of Steel.
And the reason I chose that game is because I was a little kid and we had the NES. Like, that was one of the first games I ever fell in love with. And I didn't realize how old that game was. Because I didn't play it until probably like.
There's actually a few hockey games, and I
Yeah.
kind of figured out the second he asked the question, is there a cold element? I immediately thought, oh, this is a fucking hockey game. What hockey game was it? I didn't know if you're going to be an
It's
ass and
goddamn
it was going to be
close.
like NHL, or hockey 2003 or something.
No. It was. No, I wouldn't go that specific.
Okay.
That's just douchey.
94 is iconic because of the way things
Yeah.
went down in that game, and it was also in the movie Swingers and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's two iconic years in the NHL franchise. Mike's right. One is 94, and the other one, in my opinion, is 2009 because that's the introduction of EA Sports Hockey League. And it made the game completely different
Yeah.
in how you play it. So, but yeah, Blade Steel, though, like, I don't think I ever played the game until like 1991-ish as a little kid.
Blades of Steel.
Yep. So to me, as a little kid, it's like new. I didn't realize it was 4 years old already.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the first games, like sports games on NES like that, and like there's a baseball game called Bases Loaded
Yeah.
that I love to play, and then ice hockey, obviously, which Eugene guessed, and then Mike, I forgot there was a Wayne Gretzky.
There's a
hockey.
Wayne Gretzky game
Which-
also, and
yeah.
then I think there's a game that's just called Hockey, which I thought was a Black Label game at first. I thought there was just a hockey for NES, but
But ice hockey was fun too. But Blades of Steel is the one I played a ton of.
damn it.
Yeah. No, good guess. Good guess.
Wow,
So-
I figured I'd have 0 points by the end of this thing.
So Mike takes the point for the first week.
Can't believe I lost to Mike on an NES game.
Right. I'm going to rotate genres and eras, though. So, it's not going to be a sports game every week. And next
Well, can we
week,
take turns too on who's the host once in a while?
if you want, I mean, we can rotate it. I just think it's easier and more fair to keep track if it's the same person asking questions every week.
Mm-hmm.
That way, the same three people have the chance to earn a point every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's and I'll trust me, I'll spread it out, man. I'll make it so we got it. So it'll be in somebody's wheelhouse every week.
Yep.
So it was a little difficult because you're not a sports gamer this week, but next week very well might be something you would know.
Well,
much
I mean,
about.
I definitely played. I have Blades of Steel,
Mhm.
and I remember playing
Yeah.
hockey when I was little.
Yeah.
So
It's a good game. And I'm sure if I played today, I'd say it's shit. But back then, as a little kid, it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's gonna do it for us. This
No,
week.
it's not.
Oh yes, Mike. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You had something you wanted to.
what are we
say.
gonna make this week, Mike?
No, no, it's not a recipe.
No.
Mike's got something he wanted to say.
Just like what was it? Probably
It was episode 11.
Episode 11. My dog Goose had passed away unexpectedly. A very near and dear friend of mine, Susie Miller, who I've been friends with since I was about 29. Her dog Bear passed away after a battle with hip problems and general ailments, just age, at the age of 11 last week, and I just wanted to send a shout out to him and her, and she's been a great friend, and so I kind of wanted to dedicate this episode to him, and let her know that she's in our thoughts, and that everything's going to be just okay. And it's unfortunate, but that's how the ball rolls. As George Carlin said, when you get a puppy, you're investing in a tragedy. So
Losing an animal sucks.
yeah.
It does, and the good thing is eventually you get to the point afterward where you start to just remember all the good stuff, right? So
yeah, and she's awesome. She's awesome. She was around when my mom was still alive, Goose was still alive, Callie was still alive. It was good times. She was bartending. She's been a great friend. So yeah, I definitely wanted to take the time out to give a shout out to Bear, and yeah. So hug your dogs tonight, boys and girls.
So our condolences, but it gets better, and the good thing is that they give you so much good stuff that it hurts when they're gone.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, condolences there, but that's going to do it for us this week, everybody. For episode number 32, we'll be back next week plus Graham, so it'll probably be a 4.5 hour episode as Graham comes ready to defend.
He's not allowed to talk next week.
Yeah.
It's just not. He needs to take another week off. Time out.
As Graham comes ready to defend the Nintendo Switch at every turn, and especially the press conference, I'm sure. So please put on Facebook your favorite awkward moments from the conference, because it'll probably make me want to go watch it again. But
yeah. Right.
But thank you, everybody, for listening to episode number 32. We'll be back next week with everyone for episode number 33. Until then, have a good week, enjoy some good games, and stay safe, everybody.
See ya, everyone.